Today in Review This Thing, we're going to review this thing, the Vortex Viper Shotgun Enclosed Red Dot. This is Adrienne with Review This Thing. And y'all know we've been using red dots on our shotguns for turkey hunting for years. So when we saw this brand new, fully enclosed, shotgun ready red dot at NWTF this year, we knew we had to have some. The guys over at Vortex were kind enough to send over a couple for us to test out. Even though they did send them to us, we're still going to give you our honest opinion. You may have already seen several pattern testing videos that Robbie and I have done with these, and we've had them in the turkey woods already, so we're ready to tell you what we think. Let's review this thing. As always, we're going to cover the facts. The first part is fit. The main thing we're going to cover with fit is how is this red dot going to fit on your shotgun. The mount is actually part of the sight itself, so you don't have to go buy another rail or a different mount for it. And the guys at Vortex said it is designed to fit pretty much any shotgun that is drilled and tapped other than the Stevens brand because they have a post that sticks up on top of their guns. Vortex does have a QR code with a compatibility chart so you can make sure that it's going to fit your shotgun. It also comes with 4 sets of the most commonly needed screws. There's a QR code for that as well. Scan, find your shotgun, and it tells you which screws to use. We've mounted these red dots on 2 different shotguns, the Mossberg SA-28 and Robbie's Winchester SXP Longbeard 20 gauge. They give you detailed instructions, so it's super easy, according to Robbie, who is our official sight mounter. On Robbie's gun, he was able to use 3 screws. On mine, we got 2 screws in. Vortex says that 2 screws is plenty to keep it from losing any zero or moving around. Ideally, just for added security, we would get 3 like we did in the SXP, but according to Vortex, this should do the trick. As far as the size of the Vortex Viper, it's a total of 4.86 inches long with the mount, 1.32 inches wide, and 1.15 inches tall, and it only weighs 2.14 ounces. It really is one of those things that you don't even know is there. Overall, it was super easy to fit it on both of our shotguns. I think there's 47 other shotguns it says it'll fit. You shouldn't really have too many problems unless you have a Stevens, so just don't try that. So we're gonna have to give fit a 5 out of 5. Now is the Vortex Viper Shotgun Enclosed Red Dot as advertised. The first thing they advertise is that it is designed for fast-paced turkey hunting and wing shooting. First, it has an ultra-low profile. With this integrated mount, this red dot sits really low on your shotgun, which is awesome because you're actually able to get a legitimate cheek weld. Plus, with the width of it, it has a really good field of view. That makes it really easy to keep both of your eyes open so you can see what's going on and make sure you see the turkey when he comes in. And with that unlimited eye relief, you don't even have to be in a perfect position. As long as you can get that reticle on your target, then you're good to go. Speaking of the reticle, the Viper Shotgun Enclosed Red Dot comes in 2 options. You can either get just a 3 MOA single red dot. This one is the multi-reticle. So you have the 3 MOA just single dot plus a 32 MOA circle that's supposed to match the pattern of a full choke. Then you have a 65 MOA circle, and then you can have any combination of those 3, which gives you 7 reticle options. The next thing they advertise is that it is parallax-free. I want to point out that when they say parallax-free, they mean that it meets the industry standards, not that there is absolutely 0 movement noted. I compared the parallax of this one to several other red dots, and I have to say I feel like it is definitely comparable to those. I also want to mention here that when you look at the front of it, it almost has a red tint to it, so I was a little afraid that reflection would be visible to a turkey mainly. So I set it up in a couple different positions and tested it out, and I was not able to detect any reflection off of that glass. I think part of it is because it's almost sort of tilted up and there's a hood over it. So I think that is what keeps it from reflecting back toward the target. Overall, so far, the Vortex Viper seems to do exactly what Vortex has said it will. If anything changes, we'll come back and let you know. So because of that, we're going to give as advertised a 5 out of 5. Now onto construction and durability. First, obviously it's fully enclosed and it has an aluminum housing to protect the inside from the elements. You know when you're turkey hunting, you're crawling through the woods, it may be raining, it may be muddy, so knowing that something isn't going to get on that emitter is pretty key. It has 12 brightness settings and the up and down are right on top so they're easy to get to. Probably the only thing I don't like about this Red Dot is that it doesn't have an auto adjust brightness setting. It's not a huge deal because, like I said, it's easy to adjust, but it's just something that I'm gonna have to get used to. As soon as you get sat down, make sure you got it on the setting that's gonna work for that light. The windage and elevation adjustments are also super easy to use, so getting it zeroed was pretty straightforward. On Robbie's Winchester SXP, it's already kind of a low-sitting gun, so at first we weren't able to get it adjusted low enough, but we just ran it up and down a few times, and that gave us the added adjustability we needed. So now it's ready to hunt. Plus, there's one piece of construction that I think is super cool. Vortex actually sends this tool with it, and on this tool you can adjust the windage and elevation, you can mount the Red Dot, and then the ones on the side are actually what you're going to use to remove the battery cover. So as long as you have this little tool, you're all set. Speaking of the battery, the compartment is on the side. That way when you need to change it, you don't have to take the whole Red Dot off to do that. They do claim that it's going to have about 50,000 hours of battery life. Since that's about 6 years worth, we obviously haven't tested that, but so far so good. To extend that battery life, it does have an auto shut-off option. So after 10 minutes, the Red Dot will just shut off, which brings us to the next feature, which is the motion activation or shake awake. I wanted to test it out and see how much movement was required because, you know, sometimes you're sitting on that turkey and you got to wait a really long time for him to come in. I let it go dead, left it here for 10 minutes, and I was just trying to get into position and barely bumped it, and it came back on. So it seems it will take very little movement to wake it back up. Again, if you've hunted with it and you have experience with that, comment and let us know what you found. Now you can turn off auto shut off. Just know whenever you're done using it for the day, you'll have to turn it off yourself. And it's waterproof, shockproof, fog-proof, and it comes with this nice rubber protective cover when it's not in use. Keep in mind, in addition, just like all Vortex products, it has their VIP warranty. So if something goes wrong with it for any reason whatsoever, they'll either repair or replace it. So that peace of mind is always really nice. I am going to take a little bit off here because I really wish it had auto adjust because I just like that. So we're going to give construction and durability a 4.8 out of 5. Now on to testimonials and reviews. This is brand new, just released in February, so there aren't a ton of reviews out there. Most of the ones I found are very, very positive, but I did find some that were bad and had some negative comments. The first one wasn't so much a complaint as just a report. They had a shotgun that was not one of the ones on the compatibility list, so he had to do some finagling and just find some screws that would work, but he did still get it to fit. There was a report of never being able to get it zeroed. We've talked about that. Thankfully, we didn't have any issues, especially once we got his SXP to work. Somebody else complained that you have to hold the buttons too long to turn it off. I can kind of see that. I tested it out and it took a solid 5 seconds for it to go off. Not a huge deal because I'm usually only turning it off when I'm done for the day, but I guess it could be less. But turning it on only takes a second. A couple of other people complained that the reticle wasn't clear or it was only clear on the lowest setting. We talked about that some. Robbie pretty much always sees a splatter or starburst because of his astigmatism. I will say the brighter it gets, the less crisp it is for me as well. I don't know if that's something with my eyes or if that's the Red Dot itself. And a couple people said the parallax was terrible. I've already talked about that. In comparison to the other ones we have, I didn't see that it was a lot worse. If you have a Red Dot that has a lot less parallax distortion, I'd be interested to hear what it is. Comment and let me know. And finally, should you buy this thing? I know this is going to be a shock to you, but it really depends on what you're looking for. If you're trying to find a Red Dot with auto brightness adjustments or a solar backup, this is not the one for you. Or if you want a Red Dot that can be multi-purpose, you're going to put on a shotgun, a pistol, AR, whatever, probably also not the one to go for. But if you're looking for a low-profile Red Dot that's shotgun ready, especially for turkey hunting or wing shooting, then you probably want to take a look at this one. MSRP for the single dot is $430. The multi-reticle is $500. But when I last looked, Midway USA had the dot for right at $300 and the multi-reticle for $350. Overall, we've been really pleased and would definitely recommend the Vortex Viper enclosed shotgun Red Dot for turkey hunting. So because of that, we're going to give Should You Buy This Thing a 5 out of 5. Hey, thanks for watching our Vortex Viper Shotgun Enclosed Red Dot review video. While you're here, like it, comment, share it with your friends. Head over to our website, reviewthisthingtv.com, and subscribe to our newsletter. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our weekly videos. Also, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and X.